There comes a moment in every guy's life when he really has to figure out who he's going to be. Not just who he claims to be or who he dreams of becoming, but who he actually proves himself to be through his actions, discipline, and the promises he keeps when no one else is watching. It's all about follow-through, you know. A man isn't measured by his good intentions. He's measured by whether his actions match his words. It's about whether he does what he said he would do long after the excitement of that moment has faded. Think about it. A lot of guys break promises to themselves without even realizing it. They say they'll start working out tomorrow. They say they'll wake up early to seize the day. They say they'll push harder, focus deeper, work longer, and just be better. But when the alarm goes off, when the moment arrives, what happens? They negotiate, they compromise, they hit snooze one more time. And every time they do, something inside them weakens. Each broken promise isn't just a lost goal. It's a crack in their identity. It's that little voice in your head whispering, "We can't rely on ourselves." That's where the slow erosion of confidence starts, not from failure, but from abandoning yourself. Confidence isn't built through empty affirmations or hype. It's not about talking a big game or posting motivational quotes on social media. Real confidence comes from saying you're going to do something and then actually doing it. Over and over, consistently, relentlessly, until your mind has no choice but to believe you. Confidence is all about self-trust, and that trust is earned. There are guys who can walk into a room and command respect without saying a word, not because of their looks, but because of how they live their lives. There's something undeniably powerful about a man who keeps his word. His posture is different. His eyes shine with conviction. His energy is grounded. He doesn't need validation or applause because he knows who he is, not just in theory, but in practice. That's the man you're becoming. And this final stretch of the year, this is where you build him. Most people are starting to slow down right now, folding into holiday comforts, making excuses, and buying into the lie that they'll start fresh next year. But you know better, right? You know the year isn't over yet. The guy who finished strong is the one who steps into the new year already ahead of the game. Already conditioned, already dangerous. There's a reason warriors push themselves harder in the final mile. It's not because they have extra energy. It's because they have identity left. The warrior finished strong because finishing is part of who he is. That identity is forged by keeping promises when it would be easier to back down. Ed Milet once said, "You're always building identity, either the identity of a champion or the identity of someone who falls short. There's no middle ground here. Every day, you're casting a vote for the kind of man you want to be. Every action or lack of action is a ballot. So, let's take a moment to reflect. What identity are you building for yourself? If you want to respect yourself, you've got to live in a way that earns that respect. If you want to walk with confidence, you need to give yourself reasons to trust your own hands. Confidence isn't some gift you're born with. It's not a personality trait or just plain luck. It's the result of disciplined self-loyalty. The man who keeps his word to himself becomes unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because he gets stronger. Let's be real here. If you say you're going to wake up early, then wake up early. If you say you're going to train, then train. If you say you're going to stop drinking, scrolling through your phone, or procrastinating, then just stop. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's who you said you are, and who you said you are matters. Every time you act in alignment with your own word, you're piecing your identity together. Your mind starts to understand, when we say something, we mean it. That's how you become disciplined, not through hype, anger, or motivation, but through the repetition of truth. And here's your truth. You are not a man who quits. You are not a man who backs down. You are not a man who breaks promises to himself. You are a man who is rebuilding self-trust brick by disciplined brick. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Growth is supposed to feel that way. You're not just shedding skin, you're shedding weakness. And let me tell you, weakness doesn't leave quietly. It will beg. It will negotiate. It will try to convince you that you're tired, that you're overwhelmed, that you have plenty of time to start later. But here's the thing, weakness is a liar, and the warrior knows this. The warrior doesn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" He asks, "What is required of me?" The warrior doesn't ask, "Is this easy?" He asks, "Is this necessary?" The warrior doesn't ask, "Who will see me doing this?" He says, "I will see myself doing it, and that's enough." This is where your self-respect grows, in the shadows, not in the spotlight. It's in the grind that nobody acknowledges. It's in those early mornings and late nights when no one is cheering for you. It's in the sacrifices that no one thanks you for. It's in the moments where you choose discipline over desire. That's how strong men are made. Your life will change the moment you realize that your word isn't just something you say, it's something you live. Your word is a contract, a covenant, a code. A man without a code is lost, but a man who lives by a code becomes dangerous because he can rely on himself. And that's rare, that's valuable, that's power. So here's your call, not just for today, not just for this week, but for the rest of your life. Say less, do more. Talk less, execute more. Promise less, deliver more. Because your value doesn't come from who you say you are. It comes from the evidence you produce every single day. As the year wraps up, don't measure yourself by what you plan to do. Measure yourself by what you actually honored. The man who keeps his word in December becomes a different man in January. If you finish this year strong, not perfectly, but with discipline, intention, and self-loyalty, you'll step into the new year with momentum, confidence, and an identity that can't be shaken. That's the advantage. That's the reward. That's the transformation. You're not just rebuilding your habits, you're rebuilding yourself. And one day sooner than you think, you'll wake up, look in the mirror, and see a man you respect. A man who does what he says. A man who is steady, grounded, dangerous, and disciplined. A man who carries himself with quiet, unshakable confidence. Because he earned it. That man is already inside you. And it all begins with one decision. Keep your word no matter what. Welcome to No Excuse Network, where discipline is identity, and identity is destiny. If this message hit you in the chest, don't just agree with it, live it. Subscribe to No Excuse Network and start keeping your word today, not tomorrow. And let's dive deeper into this journey. Think about the commitments you've made to yourself. Have you followed through on them? What about that workout plan you started but didn't stick to? Or that book you promised yourself you'd read? Each of those little commitments adds up. They shape who you are. And when you start keeping those promises, it creates a ripple effect in your life. You begin to trust yourself more. You start to see that you can achieve what you set out to do. It's like building a muscle. The more you lift, the stronger you get. The more you keep your word, the more confident you become. And confidence is magnetic. People are drawn to it. They respect it. They want to be around it. So as you move forward, remember that every small action counts. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're reinforcing your identity as a man of integrity. Let's take a moment to visualize this. Picture yourself in a year. Looking back at this moment, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a man who made excuses and waited for the right time? Or do you want to see a man who took action, who pushed through the discomfort, and who built something great? The choice is yours. So, as we wrap up this year, challenge yourself. What's one promise you can make to yourself that you'll keep? It could be something small, like drinking more water each day, or something bigger, like committing to a fitness goal. Whatever it is, write it down, hold yourself accountable. And when you accomplish it, celebrate that victory. Because each victory, no matter how small, builds your confidence and reinforces your identity. And that's what this journey is all about. It's about becoming the man you want to be, one promise at a time. So, let's get to work. Let's build that man together. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all in this together. Welcome to the No Excuse Network, where we're all about keeping our word and building a life we can be proud of. Are you ready to take that step? Let's do this.